Okay, episode 4.
Five.
Cat. Char. How do you say it in Vietnamese?
Nam.
Nam. Episode Nam. This is episode 4 of 5 of the Doc and Misfit series. If you want to see episodes 1 to 3, click over here and you'll be able to see it. We have been talking about specifically what are the pain points, the suffering of Eastern culture, Indians, Chinese, Vietnamese, and we are breaking that down for you guys. Even if you're white or from or black or from any other culture, if you have been raised up in a society where you need validation, you need a self-esteem boost, you need to make people happy, fit in, then this is very valid for you, because we are talking about not only how we suffered, but specific strategies to overcome that suffering. And when these pain points evolve over life, how to tackle that evolution as you are maturing as a man in his prime. So that's what we're talking about. This is Meditation Misfit. I will link his channel in the description below so you can go to his channel and check out more awesome stuff. And in this episode, so in episode 3, we talked about blondes. We talked about how we strive towards that one type of girl because we were kind of prohibited or just we weren't allowed to express our own inner selves as kids, so we rebel and go for that other extreme. In this episode, we're going to talk about anxiety. Why? Because a lot of you and a lot of students of Doc Testosterone, they have different types of anxiety, right? Social anxiety, panic disorders, sexual anxiety, sexual performance anxiety. And this is really close to my heart because the reason Doc Testosterone exists today is because I wanted to overcome my anxiety. And I was feeling depressed. I was feeling not like myself in certain situations, which were put a lot of pressure on me, and that is what enabled me to go on that journey to boost my testosterone levels and become a man in my prime. And I'm still doing that today. I'm going to do that for my whole life. Now, if you want to know about my personal story, if you don't know it yet, click here. That will talk about my story, my transformation from what I used to be 5 years ago, which is very different to what I am today. Now, let's get into this topic of anxiety. The first thing is, what have you seen in your students that you can bring you can help them out in, and how, because those students are going to be the same as my students, the same demographic, and how you've overcome anxiety in your life, specific strategies, help them out.
Okay. I always want to go to the actual root of it. Eventually to where your anxieties are coming from, whether it's like depression or thoughts that you have. It's having thoughts about the future, projections, having dwelling in the past, and you do that through meditation and contemplations about what's going on through your life. And when I work with my students, and what I've done for myself is meditating for like 5 minutes. I tell people to start off once a week, 5 minutes for once a week, and all you're doing is just sitting there and noticing your breath, and then eventually you'll notice your emotions, your thoughts, and then just see it, notice it, go back to your breath whenever possible, and then that's it. Eventually you'll notice certain patterns, other things going on, and you want to progress, meditate a few more minutes longer and longer. And then this is how you get more present and you live in the actual moment in itself. When you hear the term "live in the moment," it's almost like a cliche thing, like you hear about all the time. But I don't think a lot of people actually know what it actually means. Now, for me personally, as a kid, maybe for you, I didn't live in the moment. I grew up in a environment that was just like boring. I would think about random stuff all the time. I would think about, as a kid.
MILFs.
women, I would think about, okay, how am I gonna get to school and just not have to like read in front of the whole class. Like I even had anxiety about that. You know, you're in like the 4th grade and I gotta read in front of the class. What if I trip over? And like I'm a little dyslexic, so like if I'm tripping over my words or something, okay, get ready. And you know they're about to go through like all the students, and I know I'm the next one. I'm like, okay, all right, you kind of read pass or whatever, and I'm just doing things like that. You know, essentially I read fine, but most of it was just all in my head, and that's not living in the moment, right? The reason why you want to live in the moment is you want to make this moment right now, today, the very best moment ever. And if you're thinking about the future, you're thinking about the past or something else, you can't make this good right now. Like if I'm here with you right now, we're recording, we're discussing, you know, insightful stuff, we're having fun, we're enjoying each other's vibes, catching up to about different things. If I'm thinking about other stuff we're going to do later on, stuff about the past, how am I going to enjoy it right now? That's what's going on. And that's the point of being in the moment. And essentially, you get through all that by doing meditation.
Gotcha. Now, someone who is, this is actually a really great point, because what you're talking about is mindfulness.
It is.
Right? Which is, I guess, is that the major meditation you follow?
Yeah, I teach mindfulness, and a modern form of, you know, meditation is strictly, you know, none of that extra spiritual, religious stuff. It is spiritual, but none of the religious backgrounds that you don't want to get into, and it's just more modern, practical stuff.
Gotcha.
And to be more mindful, and essentially when you say mindful, is you're being more aware and you're being more conscious. That's what mindfulness is.
Gotcha.
And you get better by it by practicing meditation. So they're essentially two different things, but one and the same.
Got it. And what I've noticed in myself is focusing on the breath.
Yeah,
Right?
very
And
important.
I learned this from Elliot Hulse, one of my mentors, and he always talked about, you know, somebody would ask him, hey, how do you do all this stuff? You know, how are you so successful, and how do you get all this shit done every day? And he's like, I focus on my breath. I breathe. And then he'll go like that, and he'll just show it. So someone who's watching us right now, this episode, if let's say I tell him, you know what, as you're watching us right now, you need to see yourself watching us.
It is. And I want the viewers right now, notice their breath, even as they're watching this. And you mentioned Elliot. When I met him in Miami, he was a very grounded person, very easy to talk to, and he's grounded by using his own breath. And you notice that when you're talking to him.
Now, have you found students where, let's say some dude is watching us right now, and I'm like, hey, what you need to do is kind of get yourself out of your body, focus on your breath, and sort of see yourself watching us right now. See that happening. Right? Now, I can experience us recording this, and I can take myself out like, okay, Doc and Misfit are doing this right now. I can see it from this outsider's perspective. But have you found students that have no idea what you're talking about? Like, they're like, what do you mean take myself out of my body? And if you do have those students, how can they start if they have no fucking clue?
Again, you want to make it simplistic as possible.
Okay.
I don't even mention trying to get out of your body or even viewing yourself from another perspective. That will be more intermediate, more advanced stuff later on.
Gotcha.
Again, just go back to your breath, noticing it. And then when you start to get very good at it, you've done it for quite a few months, maybe in a few years, you'll notice maybe out-of-body experiences, you'll notice different points of views, emotions, and those come on eventually.
Right.
And for beginners, don't worry about trying to get those or trying to get to those moments or feelings like that. I want them to use that journey and make that progression naturally. Because when you try and force it, that's when you don't get it. When you try to force any creativity or force anything, try to make things better, you're adding more resistance to it.
Got it. Okay, so start with simply focusing on your breath.
Yes.
5 minutes a day.
Yeah. 5 minutes a day. 5 minutes a week. That's
Now,
what I actually say.
Oh, 5 minutes. Wow. Okay, so like
week.
1 minute a day.
Yeah.
Okay. Now.
No. 5 minutes one time a week.
Got it. So 5 minutes continuously once a week.
Yeah. You cannot.
Awesome.
You cannot make any excuses.
Yeah, that's easy.
When I see you a week later.
They're watching this video for 5 minutes.
Yeah. You can be mindful throughout your whole day, but there's no excuses. You have 5 minutes somewhere.
Do they have to
somehow.
sit? Can they stand? Can they do it while they're shitting?
You could do it anytime you want. That's being mindfulness, being mindful. But I recommend starting off. You sit down, 5 minutes in a comfortable chair. You can sit down on the floor, Indian style. Just as long as you're comfortable, you don't have to do lotus style or anything. Straighten out your back. Make sure your back is straight. Don't lay down because you're likely to fall asleep. And then again, go back, notice the breath, and be aware of it.
Gotcha.
And doing the 5 minutes because I want to get people in the habit of actually just doing it. You're not going to see any real changes quite yet. But just taking that small step from 5 minutes, I say once a week because you could easily do it. I mean, how much time do you really not have, you say?
Right.
You have.
There's no
5 minutes.
excuse.
Yeah, no excuse. Most students I know, they do it well more. They do it multiple times in the week. So they start to eventually get on to it.
So you've seen an improvement in your students?
Yes,
A big time improvement?
Yes. Because if I say, a few more minutes, 15, 20 minutes a day, it's hard to build up that habit when it's something that, it's so difficult for most people to just sit down and simply do nothing.
Gotcha. And you know what? Look, you're eventually going to have to meditate, right? Eventually in your life, I've gone on and off meditation. Now I'm doing dynamic meditation, which is something that you can see, there's a link here to the video. You can check out how dynamic meditation is done. That's another type of meditation, which is active. Now, what I'm trying to do is work up to Misfit's guidance, right? I don't feel that I'm there yet. What I feel is I'm very, I have a lot of energy, physical energy. So I want to get to the point of doing dynamic meditation, and then I can evolve to actually doing traditional meditation, because I'm just too much energy nowadays. But I'm going to do yours too. I'm going to do it a little bit at a time, try to do 5 minutes a week, and then take it from there and then improve and do that. Now, if you want to find out more information about mindfulness or other meditation techniques that Meditation Misfit teaches on his YouTube channel, go to his channel, subscribe to him right away, get all that knowledge. I'm going to link to his channel down below in the description. Subscribe to this channel, the Doc Testosterone channel. You will learn not only about spirituality, because we do a lot of interviews with very, very interesting, people who have mastered fields and are the top in their specific industry, but we also have a lot of insight about testosterone boosting in a natural way, a lot of health and fitness tips, a lot of good stuff on this channel. So check that out, subscribe, and if you like this video, click on the thumbs up button below and share this with your friends. Tell them about it. If someone wants to meditate, they're not quite sure how to start, give them that and explain to them that we are coming from a point of view of how meditation helps anxiety levels. So if you have social anxiety, panic, sexual anxiety, any kind of anxiety that you have, that you suffer from viscerally, they need to see this video. So forward this video to them and comment below about what your number one anxiety is. What is that particular anxiety you suffer from? And what have you done so far to overcome that? Has it worked? Has it not worked? This way the world can see how you've overcome your anxieties and look and practice what Misfit is teaching in his courses and in this video that he shared with you. And let us know how meditation has helped you after practicing this for starting 5 minutes a week. So this is, again, episode 4. And episode 5 is going to be a surprise. So I'm not even going to tell you what it is. You're going to have to watch it. Any last words, sir?
No, that'll be it.
All right. So again, thanks to Meditation Misfit. We will see you in episode 5. This is Doc Testosterone.